Hello and welcome to The Verified with me, Mustafa Kedabo. Today I have Mr. Bakary Kujabi. He's a native of Farato, Bojankunda?
Yeah.
That's where you're resident?
Yes, that's where I'm resident, but I am a native of Arankonkunda in Fonyi.
Great, and also the deputy spokesperson of No to Alliance?
Yeah.
Thank you, and welcome to The Verified.
Welcome. It's a pleasure.
Great. So, I mean, one of the reasons, of course, the reasons why I invited you to talk to us on Verified is matters relating to the homecoming of the former president, Yahya Jammeh.
Yeah.
So this has been a huge media subject, especially in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, this is something that we have been eagerly waiting for the past years since he left the Gambia.
Mm-hmm.
And to our surprise, we were called to Kanilai some time back, and we were told by the former president, Yahya Jammeh, that he will be returning to the Gambia, God willing, in November. And as we speak, we are still eagerly waiting for the day, and we are fully prepared for his welcoming.
But did you have, because this was in October,
Yeah.
were there any, are you aware of any arrangements regarding the coming? Like, for example, I mean, ordinarily you would expect that when a former president is going to return, particularly the circumstances that led to the exit of Jammeh, you probably would have had an arrangement by state to sort of welcome his return. Are you aware of any arrangement between him and the government?
Well, his arrangement with the government, as far as I understand, is that he has informed the president about his return, and he has also written to the speaker of the National Assembly. Yeah, apart from that, other preparations that we are making is to have the traditional asobi, as you are aware, when there is something big like that, it's supposed to happen. You have to get the asobi and get fully prepared for the day. So as far as the preparation is concerned, that is all we have at the moment. Have our asobis prepared, and then we be on the alert for the day.
Well, have you had, I mean, I would imagine that, so for example, I'm sorry you were here, I mean, when, for example, Jawara was returning to the Gambia, there were arrangements that were made by the head of state, former head of state, and Jawara in fact explained in Kairaba that he had to call OJ to go and find out, to look at the arrangements and to find out whether this might have been a trap or not or something, to get an assurance. And when he gets an assurance, OJ told him that he could come, and then he came. So are you aware of any such arrangement?
Yeah, but one thing I want you to understand, and any other person who may be listening or watching, these are two different situations. Jawara was toppled. It was a coup d'etat, and he has to flee to overseas. He was in exile until such a time that he had to make arrangements with the then government of Jammeh for his return. So obviously, a person in such a situation would have a skeptical mind as to whether it is a trap or not. But in the case of Jammeh, it's not. He was only defeated in the elections, and he was asked to leave his own country to get to somewhere so that the incoming government would be able to do their things in the way they want it. Yes. So when he's coming back, I don't think there is it should be exactly similar to that of Jawara, because these are two different things.
But in any case, it would require an arrangement by the government, because a head of state has a lot of privileges. I mean, we can talk about other things later, but let's just stay with the privileges.
Yeah.
And the privileges include, for example, security,
yeah,
protection,
yeah,
allowances,
yeah,
residence, and things like that. You probably are aware of the former head of state bill. So those are privileges you cannot enjoy, even the security protection itself, without the involvement of the state. So you could not do certain things. Former president is still a public officer.
Yeah.
Public officer for eternity.
Yeah. I made mention of this because you talked about, you took a glance at the Jawara, the case of Jawara. That's why I had to make that comparisons. And for the arrangements you're talking about, I'm not aware of such arrangements. All I know is that he has informed the president and the National Assembly about his return. Now, with regards to the other issues that you're talking about, I am sure that the Constitution should, look into all such things as to what should happen to a former head of state,
There is a bill spelling it out. There's already a former president's bill.
I don't think there shouldn't be any new arrangements as to what the government should do with regards to his return when he comes.
I understand. There is
when
no
he comes, you need
to
benefit from XYZ. This should have been spelled by the Constitution clearly.
No, it is clear.
Okay.
That's not my point. My point, I know that's clear. It's clear. The former president's bill has spelled out the privileges of the former president.
Yeah.
So it's clear.
Yeah.
And it includes a lot of things. Even before the recent amendment, you probably would know that there is a new amendment to the former president's bill. But even before that, Jammeh was the first person to pass that in preparation for Jawara's return.
Exactly.
And so what I was trying to get at is that was there any direct communication between him and the president? So to speak, Barrow, so to speak.
No, I'm not aware.
You're
not aware. There may be, but I'm not aware.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So because that, I was just trying to bring to your attention that probably would have been a very necessary part of the return.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that state has to be involved in the return. A former president is still an office holder for eternity.
Yeah.
That is essentially you have the former president has security.
Yeah.
He has cooks. He has a residence which is all built. He has allowances.
Yeah.
He has salary for eternity. So the establishment of that office and every movement in that office has to involve the state.
Yeah, but one thing that I still don't understand is that I heard about his message or the information he passed to the president about his coming. But I didn't get the information that the president has responded officially to say, well, I've received your information about your return, and this is what the situation is.
Oh, so he officially wrote to Barrow?
That's what I heard.
But you're not sure?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but this is what I've seen on social media.
Okay, because what I saw was that, of course, he has made an announcement that he was returning.
Yeah.
And this was in Canada. Were you there?
Yes, I was.
Okay, all right. And then this was supposed to be in November.
Yeah.
Is that going to hold? Well, I mean, you are in a much better question than I am.
Whether his return in November is going to hold, it's a matter of wait and see, because we're still in November. In November, I think it ends tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we still hope and pray that it materializes, and we still have fingers crossed, and we hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
But shouldn't there be clarity? Because like I said, this is not clandestine. It's a former president we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, if this process is clear, this should be totally in the open space. It's not a clandestine thing.
But what is not clear about this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What is not clear in this situation he has informed his militants, the militants of the APRC not to Alliance, that he's returning in November. And this is something that every Tom, Dick, and Harry has heard. So we are just waiting to see what the future holds. Yeah.
All right. So, but as far as you guys are concerned, you have no certainty.
No, we still hope that he would return as he promised.
I had the president of the Republic, Mr. Barrow, made an address. I don't remember the village where he was at the time, but he made an address where he spoke about
during his Meet the People tour.
Yeah. Meet the People tour. Recently, very recently, I think last week.
Okay.
Where he spoke about the possibility of Jammeh's coming and the fact that Jammeh could not come without his approval. I thought that was a response to Jammeh's message. It doesn't seem like he was informed. Did you listen?
Now, the fact that he spoke about Jammeh's return implies that he has heard about his return.
Yes. But
okay.
That also...
And that sounds a response to Jammeh's message.
Yeah. No, he made a number. In fact, government also itself issued a statement. But that does not also suggest that they knew that they were formally notified. Okay?
Yeah.
It still means, yes, they have responded.
Yeah.
Perhaps they have had WhatsApp audio like I do. But it didn't necessarily mean that they were officially notified.
What I heard, though, what I have learned is that the former president wrote to His Excellency Adama Barrow that he wrote to him officially. He wrote to him officially and wrote to the Speaker of the National Assembly. It was written officially. So I expect an official response from the head of state, yes, from government.
So I'm sorry.
Now, coming to the point that you were talking about, that the president said, former President His Excellency Yahya Jammeh cannot return unless he is granted permission by him. Well, I don't think at this situation this is what we need to hear, because that is only emphasizing his power as the president, but his standpoint as far as the return is concerned, it doesn't explain thoroughly as to whether yes he should come or not.
So yes, no, he didn't say that Jammeh is not going to return.
Yeah.
As far as the audio the message is concerned, when he spoke.
Yeah.
What he said was that one, he suggested he was not involved, one, and the government also said in a statement that they were not aware of being notified of Jammeh's return.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did you read this statement, the government statement?
No.
You did?
No.
Okay. Well, but you were involved in Jammeh's coming here.
No. I was involved in Jammeh's coming. The government statement on what?
After Jammeh made a statement that he was returning, government did issue a statement.
Yes. Saying what?
I was wondering if you had read it. They said it. Oh, did you not recognize the government?
Oh, no. That's not the case. I do.
Okay. Well, yeah. I hope so, because it's our government.
There has been lots of stories, lots of, speculations, things, you hear different stories. Now, I want to come back to the same issue that we are talking about when the president said he has the power to permit him to return. Yeah. Now, that's fine. But now, what is his standpoint as far as this matter is concerned? One would expect that he would say, yes, he can return as a citizen, or no, he can't because of X, Y, Z. you know. That is what people expect to hear from him.
Yeah, no, I think.
But as far as the power to permit him to come, that he is the president, he has the power, this is a common knowledge.
No, I think what the government said, it's not I think, it's a matter of fact. The government is said clearly that Jammeh, as a private citizen and as a former head of state, can return, has a constitutional right to return.
Yeah.
But that when he returns, he has trouble with the law that he needs to face, such as, for example, findings of the Jammeh Commission, which deals with financial transactions that he was allegedly involved in, and also such as human rights violations that he was accused of. That's what the government said, that he could return, that when he does return, he's going to face those charges. That's what the government said in their statement. But you said you've not read it.
That is what they mentioned.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes. Now, if so, in a sense, he is a wanted man. Is that what they are saying?
Well, in a sense, no, because they haven't. There is no arrest warrant against him, as far as I know.
Sorry.
Sense maybe, but there is no arrest warrant against him, is there? Because I'm not aware of any arrest warrant against him.
Now, they are saying that he is answerable for crimes he committed. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Now, and that may have some connection with the TRRC, am I not right?
Yeah, TRRC.
Okay, but when you look at the TRRC itself, His Excellency, former president, was denied his right to be heard in the TRRC. So it's a one-sided story.
Yeah.
How can you just listen to a group of people or an individual saying something negative about the former president, and then you make your conclusions that this is true? The essence of the TRRC is to find out the truth. Reconciliation and reparations. You understand? Now, how can you come to a conclusion that this is true without hearing both sides of the story? He was denied that right. There were some people who were called from abroad to come and testify, but he wasn't given that right to defend himself. You know.
Is this sure? Was he not notified? Because I have.
No, as far as I'm concerned, I've never heard about that, and I don't think he was.
I have heard a former foreign minister on a platform saying he was notified.
He was notified, and what was his response? I don't think so. I don't think he was notified. I'm not so. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think he was notified. But whether he was notified or not, he did not appear to testify.
Yeah.
So it's still a one-sided story.
Yeah. No, I. In fact, even if it's not a one-sided story, the fact is that TRRC is not a court.
Exactly.
Okay. And so he was not convicted.
No.
And so, but that still does not negate the fact that there are allegations of human rights violation.
Yeah, these are
that has nothing to do with what or not the Truth Commission said.
Different from the TRRC?
Yeah, so for example, the allegation that Deda Hydra was killed by the government is still an allegation that can be verified and investigated, right? Of course, because there was an incident of shooting and he was shot allegedly by an AK-47 bullet and he was killed, and this is a fact. So whether or not Jammeh is connected to this is another story, and that needs to be investigated. I think that's the point you are making.
Okay, I think we have to be honest, and there should be honesty for us to, in any steps towards justice, there should be honesty. When you take a glance at the Jawara regime, there were similar problems where people were killed.
Yeah.
It happened in the Jammeh regime, and it is happening presently in this regime. People being killed. But what is amazing is that people who were killed during the Jammeh regime were associated to Jammeh directly. You know, this is where somebody would think about and start to raise eyebrows as to what is going on. Is this a witch hunt?
Okay. So let's do a little bit of clarity. I don't want to belabor the point, because the whole point is just to discuss the subject matter. But so, for example, on the Jawara regime, the incidents you are talking about precisely, is it 1981?
1981, yes, could be an example.
Okay. So the example of 1981 would be those who were executed after the coup, or the people who were killed during the coup?
During the coup and after the coup.
Okay. So now if you look at that, and the kind of allegations that Jammeh faced are very different, would you agree with that?
No, unless I hear from you.
No, I mean, because
how are they different?
I mean, because you and I are private citizens, and we can intellectually interrogate these subject matters.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to point out is that, for example, you're talking about 1981. There was a coup.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a coup. There was a rebel leader who broke into Mile 2, which you can independently verify from CIA's even report, or the Global Fact Sheet report on this subject, or tons of online databases on this subject. Mile 2 was broken into, okay?
Yeah.
And the rebels were in charge of government for at least a week.
Yeah.
They had access to guns. They distributed among people.
Yeah.
People were shooting people on the streets.
Yeah.
There was a whole foreign intervention, and people died.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a war situation. Huh? Would we agree on that? Was a broken down of complete order?
Yeah, there was on the day of the coup d'état, it was total anarchy.
Exactly, and which Jammeh himself is very critical of. Jammeh is no friend of Kukoy.
Yeah. Exactly,
and in fact, so this is an anarchy. This was a situation of total breakdown of law.
Yeah.
Now, the allegations that I was trying to call your attention to, that Jammeh is accused of, for example, the creation of the junglers, is a hit squad that was killing in peacetime. Well, this is like I said, it's not a court of law.
Yeah.
But this is the allegation.
Yeah. These are allegations. I want to take you back to a little to what you were talking about when during the Jawara regime. You see, it is true that there was a coup d'etat led by Kukoy Sambasanya, and there was total anarchy on the very day, and 3 days after that. But what happened? But these atrocities were committed long after that. Yeah, people who were found wanting should have been taken to court, and the court would decide what to do.
I heard there were allegations of
people were accused of being involved in the coup d'etat, and there was torture.
Yeah. I heard that, I think, from one historian.
Yes, let me tell you one thing that so many people would be amazed to hear. In my own village, Arankon, there was a time during the Jawara regime when soldiers from Senegalese soldiers, came there and called out names of some of our fathers, accused them of disrespecting the chief. And they were disrespecting the chief then, who was Arafan Sanya. And they were beaten right in front of their sons and daughters. The Senegalese soldiers.
On Gambian soil?
Yes, on Gambian soil.
When was this?
This was shortly after the coup d'etat. 1981. It could have, maybe in 1981. Not really in Arankon. They went to Sintet also, did the same thing, and Joren Bunda Kunda also. You know? And as a result, some of them passed away. They died as a result of shame and anger. You know, it happened.
Yeah.
So there were atrocities committed during the Jawara regime.
I wasn't contesting.
But when Gambian people talk about atrocities, it's all pointed towards Jammeh.
No, I wasn't contesting whether or not wrong things happen under Jawara.
Yeah.
I mean, you had followed, you must have followed Al-Ghali Commission.
Yeah.
You must have followed the Bafo Commission.
Yeah.
These were all commissions held by the junta at that time.
Yeah.
And they confiscated everything belonging to former ministers of the PPP regime.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say wrong things didn't happen.
Yeah.
But there were consequences also for a lot of those wrong things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
There was a context.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Now, so for example, also, if you said, for example, Jammeh Commission had no legitimacy, could you turn and say maybe Al-Ghali Commission also had no legitimacy? Because Al-Ghali Commission was also looking into
what I would say, frankly speaking, is that I expect a commission like the Jammeh Commission. It's a commission that was set to find facts, okay? And so their role was to find facts and give report to government. And then government probably could take this matter to court, and the court decides what belongs to Jammeh and what doesn't. And then actions can be taken.
Yeah.
Based on the court's decision. But that wasn't what happened.
That's the Jammeh Commission. You and I probably are more critical of Jammeh Commission than you are, because I looked into some of the things that happened and I did a story about it.
The Jammeh Commission, I think it was, they were investigating and then seizing at the same time.
Yeah, so we will come to Jammeh Commission. I mean, I will come to the assistant of the former president. I mean, I am critical of the Jammeh Commission.
Okay.
I've done a story about some of the things that were happening back then.
Yeah.
And just finally on the issue of the TRS, is it your held belief that the government sort of is being unnecessarily harsh on Jammeh based on human rights issues?
Yeah, you see, I do not appreciate what had transpired or how situation is with regards to the issue of Jammeh with government. You know,
you do not appreciate how the government is treating
him when it comes to TRRC in particular. You see, the TRRC is, like I said before, is for truth, reconciliation, and reparations. You understand? And I said it before that for truth to prevail, you must hear from the two sides. That didn't happen. Secondly, there were people who confessed that they did killings, and they are walking around freely, but only one person is held responsible, and they are only concerned about Jammeh for the atrocities committed. And the other thing that is amazing and ironic about the findings of the TRRC is that they were looking into atrocities committed during the Jammeh regime. But there were instances where atrocities were committed, but against the Jammeh government, but during the Jammeh regime. And those things were not looked into by the TRRC. For example, the Farafenya attack.
There were a number of coups.
Yeah, there were a number of coups, you know that. So the coup d'etat in itself is a crime against the state.
Prison, but that
it's a crime against the state. But they should have been called, because we're looking into crimes committed.
Yeah.
So all those were crimes. They could have called them to TRRC to testify.
Exactly. But to be clear, to sort of for balance and for clarity, the fact that one crime is not looked into does not negate the fact that another crime can also be investigated.
No.
So you are not saying, just to be clear.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm looking at I'm simply saying that it's not fair.
Yes. So I agree with the issue of, if you look into rights, protections of rights should be for everybody.
Yeah.
So whoever lost his life should be thoroughly investigated.
Exactly.
And justice should be served equally.
Yeah.
So are you happy with a situation where Jammeh is fairly investigated? And if investigations, since you don't seem to agree with the methods of the TRRC, or you are open to a more transparent investigation?
Yeah, more transparent. And
but would you be okay that that's transparent investigation done by the government?
No. I gave you an example of violations during the Jammeh regime, but against the Jammeh government.
Yeah.
And they were not looked into. So it was one-sided. That's what I'm talking about. And another thing about those findings is that, when we talk about reconciliation, there can't be any meaningful reconciliation without forgiveness.
Some would also say there cannot be any meaningful reconciliation without justice. Because
but for justice to take place, we need to hear from the two sides. In the TRC, we need to hear from the two sides, and then we can see how to go ahead with the reconciliation. You understand? But in a situation where things are in this situation, that yes, he cannot come unless I give him the mandate to come over, or else he can't come. If he's coming, if they feel that when he comes, justice will play its part, then why are they dragging their feet in allowing him to come?
Do you not think that it's largely because that probably they're scared? They thought maybe Jammeh still had an influence in the military that could be detrimental to national security or to Barrow's regime security?
No, when they talk about this threat being a threat, one thing I would remind the people is that when Jammeh considered defeat initially, the first thing he advised the present head of state, His Excellency Adam Barrow, was to be mindful of the security. The reason why he is concerned about security is because he is concerned about peace, the peace of the nation. So a person who has such a good heart for the country cannot be considered a threat. His return cannot be considered as a threat.
But there are contradictions.
Now you talked about the army having influence in the army. I think sometime back there was how do you call it, security reforms? What was security reform? What was the essence of the security reforms? If the security reform was done successfully, why do they still have a feeling Jammeh still have influence in the army?
Well, that's a legitimate question, but do you not think that, there are tons of contradictions in Jammeh's own statement. So for example, there are audios when he released, sometimes he would say, if I come, they will run. So if you say, what do you expect people to think? Or you said, I'll bring the Pulo African to Senegal.
Yeah.
You're allowing Senegal to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
And so there are tons of contradictions in his own statement. It doesn't seem to inspire a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Would you not agree with that?
Yeah, it seems...
you would agree with that, wouldn't you?
You
listen to the audience.
Yes, I listen.
So he is not talking like someone who... There are two things when you listen to Jammeh most of the time you get.
Yeah.
He still is with the inspiration either that he is the legitimate president or that when he comes, he is still going back to become president. That's one. Because he says, for example, when I come, our oil will be restored, all of you guys will pay for what you've done. And that does not seem like somebody who is going to come and go.
When Jammeh talks at times, it is subject to interpretation.
But more case.
Listen. When he says that when I come back, I will take whatever belongs to the Gambian people.
Yeah.
You understand? So, to my understanding, he still has the feeling that Gambian people like him, and there is a likelihood that when he comes back and contests in the elections, he would emerge victorious.
But he's not even qualified to contest in the next presidential election.
Why?
The Constitution says that you have to be resident here for 5 years. If you are not resident here at all for the last 5 years, you cannot contest. So I need to come on and that means that you are going to do a coup, because you cannot come and become president automatically.
So you are saying that he's not qualified to contest as a presidential candidate?
No, he's not.
That is something that I have to make my own finding.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to contest in the presidential elections, of course, let's put aside the findings of Jammeh Commission, TRRC. Let's put it aside.
Yeah.
The most simple, clear thing is that you need to be resident in the Gambia for the last 5 years, or the 5 years preceding the election.
Yeah.
Or within the 5 years of the election.
Okay.
He is not here within that 5 years, so he could not contest even if he comes.
Okay, that's what I said. I have to.
You have to do research.
I have to do my research to see.
Okay.
To
so, but even
agree or disagree with what you are saying.
So even if you go and do the research, of course, this would have been already probably up, or maybe before it's up, you will see it. But also that if you issue an audio and say, if I come, you're going to run, and you have a president, and in fact, in the lead up to the presidential elections, he was very hostile towards the president. Early days of his split, and so he must have been angry because part of his party split, and the other half went with the executive went with Barrow. Mm-hmm. But he was calling the president names like a donkey, fallow. Mm-hmm. Those are not presidential.
Yeah,
you would agree, no?
Yeah.
And so if you have that kind of charged atmosphere between you and a sitting president, it's problematic, isn't it? Do you not think so?
You know, His Excellency, former President Yahya Jammeh, is a human being like you and I.
Yeah.
And there are certain situations, when you get into certain situations, you can sometimes be emotionally charged.
Yeah.
You understand?
You are a very measured person.
Sorry?
You haven't called I'm sure you will not call Barrow a donkey. You are a very measured person.
Yeah, but if
You're very careful with the words.
Sometimes, like even your own relative or your close relative, there can be certain situations when you are pushed to the corner. You might say something out of emotions. You know, human being what he is. He can behave in such a way.
But so how do you think that?
So that doesn't show that any. I don't think that shows that he disrespects him.
No, I'm not necessarily saying it is.
But like when you look at Jammeh's issue, one, he was denied his constitutional right for a hearing when he appealed for the re-election. The elections. You remember the political
Court.
Yes, to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Okay, he was denied the right. That was his constitutional right.
No, I don't think
he was denied. Of course, he was.
Okay. Let's look at it. Because I was a reporter back then.
No, there were supposed to be judges from the ECOWAS, but they were blocked. They didn't come. He even mentioned that.
Okay, I know. I understand that. But let's look at it one step at a time. The thing is, by that time, in fact, even the GPU and others had their cases at the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
It was not empaneled. It was the president who should have put judges at the Supreme Court back then.
Okay.
So when the election results was being announced, the judges were not, the Supreme Court was not empaneled.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when the election results faltered, when Jammeh claimed there was theft of election results, he wanted to empanel the Supreme Court. Okay? And then the people who were involved told him, well, you cannot choose the judges.
No, what actually happened was, as what I heard him say was that some members of ECOWAS were willing to send in their judges because their judges in the Gambia at that time were in recession. You understand? Ghana was prepared to send, Sierra Leone was prepared, and Nigeria was supposed to send the largest number of judges, to go ahead with the issue. But it didn't materialize.
I don't think that was the case. As far as I know back then, I don't think that was the facts. And there were
you may hear a different story, but that is the case.
I think
the reason I'm just coming on putting something across for you to understand.
Yeah.
Now that is one thing. You know how painful it would be when you feel that you are cheated. Or when you feel that things are going wrong and you want the law to take its course, and you are denied the right for that to happen. And then secondly, he was denied the right to stay in his own country. He was asked to flee, to leave his country and stay in exile with his mom and other relatives. That is another painful thing. You understand? This wasn't a coup d'etat. He was only defeated in the elections. I personally I've never heard of any such thing where a president is defeated and you are asked to leave your country and stay away. That's the next thing. When he left, in his absence, his properties, he was denied the right to ownership of his property. His cows, his cars, even tractors that he gave to Gambian people were seized. So some of these things, when you think about this, it doesn't sound as a political difference or difference in political opinion. It looks like hatred.
Hatred?
Yes.
It's quite a strong word. But I mean, Barrow has said himself that Jammeh also had done the same thing to other people. I mean, if you listen to Barrow said that Jammeh denied people, he exiled people, and some he even denied the remains of their bodies to come back to the Gambia. So he's saying it's what you reap is what you show, or what you show is what you reap. I don't know which way you put it, but
no, those people. This is something that
Kuboy, for example, died. Jammeh denied his corpse to be returned to the Gambia.
Yeah, that's what I heard him saying.
Buba Balde also.
Okay,
but that's a fact. That's a historical fact. It happened.
No.
Buba Balde, in fact, came up to the border and they said, no, the remains cannot enter the Gambia. It has to go back to Senegal. It was a Gambia.
Because he was not permitted, the permission was not granted by Jammeh?
Well, it's the government that says. Whether it's Jammeh directly, I have no idea.
No, I know Jammeh to be a very, very, somebody who is reasonable. I take him to be a reasonable person. And when I hear people talk about this, I can't agree that this directive came from Jammeh to say, well, this dead body. What has that got to do with Jammeh's regime? Somebody who has been here alive, maybe opposing him, and why should he fear the dead body of that individual coming into the country to be buried?
For most people, this is a historical fact.
No, maybe that is something I don't know who where. If it has happened, I don't know who might have given the directives, but I don't think a person like Jammeh would ever do that.
Do you believe the existence of Jongras?
Jonglas,
a team called the Jonglas.
Jonglas, I just heard the name Jonglas, like you are mentioning.
But you don't.
But I don't. No. I don't know. I'm not aware of their existence.
Do you believe in if the entire military leadership, including Usman Baji, the former military general who was the chief of the defense staff, and every other person in the military cadre, have said the Jonglas. In fact, it was Usman who arrested the Jonglas immediately after the presidential election. Do you believe him?
Usman Baji?
Yes, it was Usman who arrested the Jonglas.
But who are these Jonglas?
Well, the people who testified before the TRRC and said they have executed people, including the Hydra. Do you believe that is true?
No, this is hearsay.
You see, yes.
I heard this from people.
Yeah.
I heard this from people. I have no idea. I don't know whether.
Because for most people, I mean, I'm sure you would appreciate this. I mean, because you and I, no matter how we looked at ourselves. We both are Gambians, and I'm sure we all mean well.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who said, Jammeh's case is peculiar because there has never been a president in the history of the Gambia that's accused of having a hit squad. A hit squad in the sense that having people who just go and pick people and kill them.
No, what is important here is the lives of the people.
Yeah.
Whether there was a hit squad responsible of executing, or there is no hit squad, but as long as life is not protected, as long as people are being killed, it's the same thing.
Whose life you mean?
The people of the nation. The people of the
so
nation. Like, what I'm saying is,
in
any government, what is important is the protection of the lives of the people and property.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You understand?
You
understand? And I gave you an example. I told you that in even in the Jawara region, people died, people were killed.
Yeah.
In the Jammeh region, people were killed, and in the present region, people were killed.
Yeah,
let me finish. Now, whether there is a special group of people assigned for the killings or not, but as long as killing is taking place, it is not acceptable whether there is or there is.
I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Killing is not acceptable. Death is not acceptable under any circumstance.
Yeah.
But what I am trying to draw your attention to is that the claim that the establishment of junglas was a state policy. Now you've talked about incidents here. We have Faraba incident. People died. And it's out of sheer negligence. I alone think that people should go to prison for that. And there were people who were negligent. That's what led to Faraba. The investigation happened. Nothing came out of it. So I agree with you on that. There were tons of incidents here where people died. And corruption cases, of abuse of state resources. Adequately, things have not been done about it. That's not the point. What I am saying is, but Faraba incident was not like a state policy. It was an incident that happened. As a result of a recklessness of one or two people, or three people, or some people at the top. But what the allegations are against Jammeh is that these killings were state policy, where Jammeh just go about executing people he just doesn't agree with, including his own cousin, Haruna Jatta and Masi Jammeh. Haruna Jammeh and Masi Jammeh.
You know, all these things that you're talking about are allegations.
Yes, I agree with you.
They are allegations. Jammeh is still, guilty, innocent, sorry. He's still innocent of all these accusations until it is proven. You understand? So we cannot make any conclusions here to say, well, these are facts.
I agree with you on that. Everyone, because you cannot establish justice with injustice. I agree with you on that. We continue? So I agree with you on the issue of justice, right? And I agree with you that you cannot fix justice with injustice. Regardless of how you disagree with the individual. But what I am trying to say that, are you satisfied with a situation where these allegations of human rights violations are thoroughly investigated as opposed to TRRC? Because in any case, even with TRRC, even after the TRRC, we have an established court to prosecute Jammeh-era crimes, so-called Jammeh-era crimes. You have to still investigate. They still have to be investigated.
Yes.
Because the level of test, the test of evidence, the level of robust test of evidence before a court of law is not the same as evidence before TRRC. Exactly. So, but is it acceptable to you that there is a thorough investigation and not just? If
for them to be proven innocent or guilty, there has to be investigation, and then the law takes its course. You understand? But we can't rely on the test, how you call it?
The
testimony on the TRRC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are allegations that can still be considered as facts for one to conclude that yes, this man has committed crimes or is guilty of certain crimes. No, I don't think so. But what I'm concerned here is the fact that the TRRC was established, and I think the main objective is for reconciliation. For reconciliation.
Yeah.
Now, I said it before that for a reconciliation to take place, there has to be, we have to bury the hatchet. We have to bury the hatchet and move forward. It has happened in other countries, and that was the same reason why they established the TRC.
Now, which other country?
Countries, there are so many countries.
There are so many
countries that if South Africa, I think, and Rwanda, they had a TRC. Things happen there that Rwanda. Things occurred in those countries.
But Rwanda, they did prosecute people who were involved in the genocide.
Yeah. This is quite different from what happened in Rwanda.
Yes,
it was the extent. It was the extent of the killings in Rwanda that led to the prosecution of those people.
Yeah.
There was no mass killing here. There was no genocide in the Gambia. You understand? So one would expect after hearing from both sides, we just bury the hatchet and look forward to the improvement of our country.
What do you know?
Rather than dragging our feet on the similar thing and the same thing for the past 10 years.
I will keep you. We'll move on to the assets, and then I'll just keep you one question on this subject. Do you not think that for even if we are to bury the hatchet, for example, there should have been also some degree of acceptance. And if you cannot even accept that Deda Hydra was killed, in fact, in the Gambia, and you cannot accept who killed them, and that person cannot also apologize, and that person is still defiant.
A degree of acceptance from who?
From people who are accused and accepted.
No, some people testify. They accepted. Okay. That they did killings. They did it. Some of them are walking freely.
I know, but now TRC is not a prosecution. We've talked about that, and the allegations are still going to be investigated for a court level evidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But then, would you not agree that Jammeh, for the sake of reconciliation also, should tone down a bit and sort of be more conciliatory than the current tone at which he is speaking? And sort of try to address this. Because I've not even heard Jammeh address this subject matters. He's talked about many things.
About
all these issues, all these allegations, like such as the death of Deda. When the issue of Deda was last raised with him, he said that people have died here, people go to Bakary and die. But Deda's death was a circumstance, was an unusual circumstance.
I think Jammeh is somebody who does things at the right time, in the right way. So he could not just come like that and say, I heard this being said against me, but it's just like that, it's wrong, and then he starts explaining what happened. No, it has to be done at the right time and the right place. So if other people were invited to talk against him, levy all those allegations against him, he should have been permitted to also given the floor to for us to hear from his side.
Okay.
So if that had happened, and he failed to mention any such thing, then we could have come up and said, well, he was invited, but he was not reconciliatory. Yeah.
Now let's move a bit to more broader political scene. I mean, you've seen the issue of, I mean, you come from the No to Alliance, which is actually a faction of the APRC.
Yeah.
I said a faction because, I mean, APRC went into alliance with with Barrow, and that No to Alliance was formed to say that we don't agree with this.
Yes.
And what is the state of affairs now? I mean, you still have a lot of people, I mean, not a lot of people, but you at least have two of your elected names abandoning the cause.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, you have the lady Kamara, I think?
Yeah, Koli.
And Koli,
Bakary Baji.
And Bakary, yes.
Yes, this is that has happened, but remember, this is not a new thing in the Gambia, in the politics of in the arena of Gambian politics. It's not something new.
Yeah.
So it has been happening to other parties. When it happens to the not alliance too, one should not be surprised that this is the attitude of Gambian people.
Well, I had Bakary here, and you know, one of the things he told me which is striking was that everything has to have an end. Gambia should just accept that this is the end of 22 years also.
But how does he know that it's ended? He can no longer be president. How does he know?
Yeah, but he is already president for 22 years.
Yeah, he was president for 22 years and he can't be president again.
Yeah, but what Bakary is saying is,
yeah,
this is a country of 2.5 million people to 3 million people.
Yeah.
You are one person.
Yeah.
You rule that country, your country, that country, for 22 years.
Yeah.
Is that not enough?
No. Being enough is not, that doesn't depend on Bakary's discretion.
Okay.
It depends on the discretion of Gambian people.
Okay.
If Gambian people still need him as to take over the reins of power, he has to.
So Bakary cannot even...
So Bakary cannot say that it's okay, enough is enough because he has ruled for 22 years. Who is he to say that?
But if Bakary also wants to be president, what is wrong?
Yeah, let him leave the decision with the Gambian people. But he cannot be a player and a referee at the same time.
Okay.
You understand?
He did voice
and you see, people sometimes would say he has ruled for the country for 22 years, so let him just move, it's enough, his time is over. No, how would you know that the time is over? The time is over only depends on the people, the feelings of the people. If people still want him back, he can. It has happened in other countries. Presently, the president of America was there before. Trump was there before.
For only 5 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but he came back again and is serving as president again.
Yes.
You understand? It's because the people realize that he's still the best person to lead the country. So the similar thing can happen in the Gambia too. So let people stop talking about Jammeh ruling for 22 years and then that's enough. No.
Do you get the impression, because we've seen, I saw Almame try to make an argument.
Almame Giba?
Yes, Almame Giba and Giba tried to make an argument that Jammeh's case is like, you have to because you take APRC, and you go on to Jammeh. Because he was sort of making that case, try to say, well, if Jammeh is a security threat, then why did we have the speaker here who has been working with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have the speaker here who also have been working with him. And how are those not threats? They are all APRC. I mean, do you...
Yeah.
Is that a widespread
I think what he's saying makes sense. It makes sense. And again, I don't know why somebody would just sit down and say, you know, sometimes people talk just because they want to talk, or they talk because they want to provoke, you know. But it may not be necessarily true that Jammeh is a threat. No. No, no, he is referring he may be referring to those who did wrong, the evildoers.
Yeah, but that you are not coming as the president. Like, we already have a president. I mean, I think you and I are all citizens.
Yeah.
I mean, I may not agree, and often I'm not a very good at being very obedient.
Yeah.
But I respect authority.
Yes.
And you and I all respect authority. So we all know that there is a president, and we all serve the president.
You know, in politics,
so you cannot come back and become a president.
You know, in politics, in politics, there is sometimes a war of words.
Yes.
You understand? You can be here, say something against me, and then the opponent can also say something against me. That is something that is inevitable in the political arena.
It's heated debate.
Yes. Say things that might hurt your feelings. And it may not necessarily be something that you really intend to do. You understand?
But you guys don't feel very nice about the APRC faction that goes to ally with
the APRC that goes to Barrow, I call it a hijack. They hijacked our party.
But they were also members of the party.
Yes, they were, but they are just few individuals. They are not.
They won one seat at least. I think one or two.
I mean those who went to Barrow.
Yeah, they won one parliamentary seat.
There has never been any time before the so-called alliance with Barrow, APRC alliance with Barrow. There has never been any time in the history of APRC when Tombon Jatta was unanimously selected as the flag bearer of the APRC party. You know? So even he himself at times would talk about this and would say, when the party leader is here, I will give up my position. He has been saying this repeatedly. So when he turns around, yes. So when he turns around and then he claims to be the party, the flag bearer, people would obviously be surprised about that. No. And then for us to move, for the alliance to take place, he has to get the consensus of the general, the general body of the APRC. If we are moving, we move together.
Yes, but I think what happened was just basically that Jammeh did not agree with the alliance. And Rambo and others have come out to say that it was Jammeh who asked them to go into alliance. And then
but before the alliance, there was that disagreement between them and Jammeh.
Yeah.
That he didn't say it. So even if they have this, even if
Jammeh didn't say it.
No, even if that was what they think, that Jammeh said it, but when they intend to move and then they heard from Jammeh that disagreeing that, no, I didn't say it, they should have retreated their steps.
Yeah.
And work in accordance with the general consensus.
Doesn't that take us back to the same issue where we have to say that, they were also fed up. They thought, look, Jammeh is in Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah.
And yes, he was the founding father of the party. But we are the ones here in charge and we are the executive. We should be able to be the ones to make the call.
No, they were the executive, but they can't do things on their own without the consent of the general public, the general APRC militant. Yeah, whatever they are supposed to do, because whatever they were supposed to do should have been a unanimous agreement with the APRC militants for them to take such steps. But they didn't, so that was why there was a split. Yeah, there was a split.
Yeah. Now let's just briefly. I kept you for too long here.
Yeah, don't worry.
Let's just briefly talk about Jammeh's assets. When you I mean, of course, it's no longer Jammeh's assets according to the state because they were forfeited. Forfeited essentially mean it follows the logic of unexplained wealth, which means that Jammeh had stolen enough money which surpasses even his entire total income, so they forfeited everything he owns. So, but do you, I mean, of course, you've talked about how you disagree with the commissions.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway with the way the assets were managed?
You know, with the assets, we must always remember that this man, His Excellency, former President Yahya Jammeh, has been ruling for 22 years. Okay? And he was also embarked on farming project at Kanilai that had yield lots of money for him. You know, so one would expect him to own lots of property. Okay? But as we speak, even his home is turned into a garrison.
That's the home in Canada?
Yes.
I've been there.
Yeah. So, I can't understand how a president who has been serving for 22 years eventually cannot own anything. And in fact, how do we justify that, yes, this is true, without the court playing its part? You know, this sounds like, I don't think it is in line with the democratic process of any democratic state. Yeah, for things to happen in such a way. You know, I think we have to be very grateful at times, and we have to be honest. Every human being, there is no man who is perfect. You know, if Jammeh had done everything perfectly without any loopholes, we can conclude to say he is not a human being. Because if you are a human being, you are bound to make mistakes. You understand? But let's not also forget about the good things that he has done for the Gambia. You know, why are some, the fact, and if we come back to religion, when we get back to religion, it is believed that in the hereafter, some people will go to heaven and others will go to hell. But it does not necessarily mean that those who are going to heaven have never committed any problem. They have not committed any sin. But the good things that they committed exceeded the bad things. So we look at Jammeh in that angle. When we look at Jammeh in that angle, we will forget about his negative side. Look at the Gambia. If you want to know who Jammeh is when it comes to politics and what he has done for the Gambia, look at the Gambia before Jammeh, how the Gambia was before Jammeh. And you look at the Gambia during Jammeh, you will realize that he is the one who made the Gambia a better place to live. I was in school before the Jammeh regime. I know how hard things were. I was a teacher serving government. I know how hard things were during the Jawara regime. You know? Things were so bad. So bad. There were no good roads. There was no electricity, no proper school buildings, no high schools were not enough. We had this common entrance and some were considered failures, they fail, and then lots of dropouts. So many things, I can't name them. But when he came over, even when you look at the society, the margin between the rich and the poor was very wide before Jammeh. Even overseas studies, it was the rich people whose sons and daughters had the opportunity to go abroad for studies. And they come back with their masters and replace their parents' high positions in government. It was the rich people who had the opportunity to go for overseas treatment. You know, we had dispensaries and a few hospitals in the Gambia. When Jammeh came, he looked into all these things and thought that there is a high need for the wealth of the nation to be shared fairly. And I think that was a crime he committed by distributing the wealth of the nation fairly to the grassroots level. Now, when we talk about embezzling money, that he has squandered money, don't we remember that he was at one time helping Gambian people? He was supporting sports. He was supporting fisheries. He was supporting farmers, agriculture, giving them tractors. He gave millions to footballers at one point in time when they under 17 won the Cup of Nations or African Cup of Nations, gave them millions. You understand? And so many other things. He sent people for overseas studies. Gave scholarships, lots of other things. So the money that they are talking about was spent by Gambian people. Was for the Gambian people.
On the Gambian people.
Yeah, was for the Gambian people and used for the Gambian people.
Okay, so you meant Jammeh spent those monies on the
Gambian people. But it is sometimes funny that even the tractors that he gave to the farmers, Gambian farmers, to improve agriculture, for us to have food self-sufficiency, if you like, those tractors were seized.
You mean after the commission?
The commission. They seized those tractors from those farmers, the poorest of the poorest in the country, leaving them bare.
What would you think, though, is the biggest, what would you imagine is the biggest problem of the Barrow administration? What do you think, how do you think that process should have been handled?
The process of
Jammeh's assets.
Jammeh's asset. Like I said, this matter should have been investigated by the Jammeh Commission. Then the Jammeh Commission passed the report, the outcome, the results of the investigation to government. Government will post this matter to court, and then the court will make its findings or make the judgment to see what belongs to Jammeh and what doesn't belong to him. And then upon the recommendation of court, the court's judgment, then government can take action. Because
so it should have been initial order.
We are all under the law. So we should be protected, equally protected by the same law.
Are you disappointed? I mean, I know I have been to Foni and I've been to Kanilai.
Yeah.
And Jammeh's residence, I know after his departure, there's been a significant level of neglect. I mean, there are a lot of people who said even if Jammeh is not in this residence, it could have been put to a more productive use by the state. Do you disagree with that?
For his residence to be put into something else to benefit.
Well, there is not necessarily in the residence, but there is a park, for example, there is which could be a very lucrative tourism attraction site. I mean, are you happy generally with the way those assets were managed? No. Aside from saying they've turned it into a garrison, into a military garrison.
Yeah. I don't think things should have been in that way. Everybody is entitled to own a home. There are people who have not even served as presidents. They have very beautiful homes. They have about up to maybe more than 5 homes, and they are luxurious homes. You understand? So for a person who has been serving as president for 22 years, that's quite a long time, not 22 months, but 22 years, And when we look at what he has done for the Gambian people, at least we should have, not gone into certain things because it is too extreme. It's too extreme to be taking all that belong to him,
Do you think that
when I go out right now, even when I go on my way, I saw Jammeh. You know how I saw him?
Tell me. You saw him outside?
Not physically.
Don't make people run. He did say if he comes there.
I saw Jammeh, not physically. When I look around and see all the beautiful things that he have done, I see Jammeh.
But there are also a lot of beautiful things Barrow has done. I mean, government can do a lot of business.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying, not me alone, but any other Gambian person, a genuine Gambian person, would be seeing Jammeh on in our day-to-day lives.
But okay, let's look at it this way.
Because
there are counter arguments to that also.
Yeah.
The president is a servant of the people.
Yeah.
Hired by the people. Paid and lived in a 5-star hotel, financed by the people.
Yeah.
Fed daily by the people. Yeah. Clothed by the people.
Yeah.
To work.
Yeah.
So essentially, people's counter argument is that he was not doing anyone a favor. He was just doing what he was paid to do.
No. In a sense, I'm just saying that he lived up to expectations. He lived up to expectations. You know.
Which is what is expected.
Yes, that's what's expected.
That's why it's expectations.
Yeah. You know, when Barrow came in to campaign against him in order to take over the leadership, those who voted for him expected that when he comes over, he was going to do more than what Jammeh did. Yes, in terms of development. You see, but that's not what I'm saying.
You don't think that's the case? Maybe we need to do a whole segment and look at the data, because I believe in data as an investigative journalist.
Yeah.
I believe in data a lot, and I believe in, if you are comparing two systems and two governments, which are two different times, there are a lot of things to compare. For example, the expenditure that Jammeh had done versus the expenditure that Barrow has done. You can compare the budgets. Of course, you will have to factor in the inflation and others. You can compare the domestic mobilization of resources. You can also compare funds, the international donor funds that have been pumped into the country. And then you will be able to analyze whether Barrow or Jammeh has done better. But essentially, Gambia, until today.
No, from the layman's point of view, we would look into some of the infrastructures, the roads here and there,
the buildings
and so on and so forth. You know, things that are beneficiary.
Landmarks.
Yeah, exactly.
But in any case, Gambia remains a poor indebted. It still remains one of the list of the HIPIC, which is highly indebted poor countries. So it's one of the, is still, I mean, regardless of what Jammeh has done and what Barrow comes to do, Gambia still remains highly indebted poor country, where half of the population still lives below $2 a day. It's quite a state we are in, isn't it? We not all agree with that.
Yes, but I don't think we are taking a step forward towards development.
Okay.
You understand?
What do you think?
Like when after the Jammeh regime, when Barrow came in, the expectation was that he was going to do far better in so many ways. But I don't think this is what is happening, and that's why people are still thinking about Jammeh. People's minds are still on Jammeh. Somebody who has left this country for 9 years, and even to listen to his voice, to his message, is a pride.
How many people were in Kanila in the day Jammeh?
It's in hundreds. It's in thousands. In thousands.
But you were only able to win 5 National Assembly seats.
5 seats. 5 seats.
Yeah, 5 seats.
And remember what happened to the APRC.
You split.
Yes.
Yes, but
if we had maintained our strength as a party,
you probably would. I mean, give and take, you win 6. Because there is one you won in Joshua, and I think that's the only one.
Joshua?
That's the current APRC.
Which current APRC are you talking about?
There's only one APRC. There's no 2 APRC. There's one APRC. There's one no to alliance.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
And you know the word APRC?
Yes.
The letters APRC is a label. It's a label.
Okay.
It's a label. UDP is a label.
Yes.
NPP is a label.
Yes.
You understand? If I have a container like this and then I have a label on my container,
yeah.
If you take if you take away the label from the container,
yeah.
that doesn't change the content of the container.
Yes.
The content of APRC is the militants, the supporters.
Yes.
The supporters are still there. Tom Wanjata didn't go with APRC.
Yeah, I know. I didn't agree with you. I didn't disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, legally speaking, if you are talking about APRC, you're talking about the registered political party.
And
the registered political party are the executives who disagreed with Jammeh's position. And they split. And so they went to power. I mean, for all intent and purposes, they are enjoying. I mean, Tombong is the third most powerful person in the state.
Yes.
Do you not think, have you ever, not to Alliance, tried to approach Tombong to talk to him about this subject matter? Jammeh's return. He will quite a considerable.
Before I became a member of the executive of the APRC NATO Alliance, I wasn't aware of what the transactions that were going on between the NATO coalition faction and the
I mean now.
Presently?
Yeah.
No, I'm not aware of any such thing.
Because Tombong is the speaker of the parliament.
Yes, he is.
And you know that the parliament did have a serious, there was a debate in the parliament last 2 weeks ago, where somebody was trying to move a motion for the parliament to remove the cover of the former president to have him prosecuted, to sort of compel the state to prosecute, which the powers of which the parliament has. And so you are folks in the parliament. I mean, Sidinjai was Jammeh's prodigy. And so is Fawaka. And, you know, and you have not met him. And Jammeh is still talking about coming.
No, I'm not saying.
And now more before that Fawaka would be. Because Fawaka is one of those who took his party from him.
Well, some of these questions may be better answered by the present first interim party leader, as to whether there has been any dialogue between the Northern Coalition and the other side of the APRC.
Well, you are not aware?
No, I'm not aware as an individual, no.
Okay, I mean, I think I've kept you for too long, but
just as long as it is APRC affairs, I can be here talking today.
So just on what do you think currently is going to be the way? Because I see also because when there is tension also, sense can be lost. Okay? When there is tension, sense can be lost. I've seen that people wanted to hold a press conference. Last week.
At Marrakech.
And press conference is not an illegal gathering. But I was told that you were asked to not hold that.
We were asked to leave. I don't know why they did it, but this is not what is expected in a democratic country.
And there was also some couple of people who were arrested for hoisting the flag. Some of our boys were arrested for hoisting flags, which is also something new in our country. So this is all telling you how government feels about this APRC NATO alliance. But we are citizens like any other person. We have the right to exercise our political desires. You understand? Do you not think that, I mean, you should have a more thorough conversation with the government? Since, like I said, you are talking about an office which is established in law as the office of the former president.
One of the things that the first interim party leader wanted to talk about during the aborted press conference was the issue of liaising with government to permit us have such similar gatherings anytime we feel like doing so.
But I also saw a request to meet the president.
Yes.
Because I read
it may be in line.
I read the press. I read the statement.
It may be in line with these issues like this, because
do you not think that's a much more better way to approach it? I mean, meet the president, put your case to the president.
You know, this is a two-sided thing. It's twofold. It's two-sided thing. Our side and the government side. We want a very peaceful way of resolving this problem of people being denied, having gatherings when we do not pose any threat. You know, we are not armed. We are just civilians who want to discuss about our plans for the return of His Excellency Yahya Jammeh, and that's all. You know, so when even if we had the opportunity to meet the president, to have audience with the president, I don't know what the outcome would be. Whether he would treat us in the way they are treating us not right now.
But if you wouldn't know if you have not tried.
Yeah. Yes, I think that is something that we just wait and see. Yeah.
What do you think? What is the plan going into the next presidential elections? Are you guys galvanizing and sort of either galvanizing around the issue of coming of Jammeh or just galvanizing preparation of the election?
Yeah, right now, everybody's mind is centered on the return of Jammeh. When he is here as an individual,
then you can decide.
Then we will be certain as to what our next steps would be. Our next step would be towards the forthcoming presidential election.
But for now,
our plans is all about the return of Jammeh. Yeah, that's it.
And that also you just have to listen, because as it
yes. Yeah, we just have to listen. And now
because they said November, and apparently the last time I had, there was a statement where I had Amul Nyasi.
Yeah.
Was saying that they said now Jammeh said he does not have a passport to come on a plane, and so I would imagine even if Jammeh were to leave, probably he would come on a chartered flight, maybe. So I'm not sure. There are no clarity regarding, maybe only Jammeh declared.
Amun Nyasi may say so, but I don't know how reliable that information is, and it is not official. We haven't had this from our leadership.
So you guys are listening.
No, we don't take that seriously. No, we don't take it seriously. We see this as something coming from an opponent.
Amul is an opponent. I mean, he is one of
in the political arena. Yes, he is, because they are the people who.
Well, even within you, people know to alliance. Also, you're also losing because Bakary has gone, and Bakary is not coming back. He's contesting.
There is no party that is not losing.
Yes, I know.
Everybody, that is a trend in politics.
There's no party. Alliance now.
Everybody is losing. You see.
Yeah, and NPP
anytime a party is created, even people like Bakary and others who are creating new parties, the people that are going to rally behind them are going to come from other parties, the old parties. So anytime a party is created, a new party is created, so many parties are affected. Yes, other parties are affected because some people might change their minds. Instead of supporting the party that they are supporting, they will change their minds and support the new party.
Do you not think that maybe over-reliance on Jammeh's coming and not strategize for the 2026 could maybe sort of be counterproductive?
Relying...
Because in a situation
presently that is our plan A, that is we have to rely on Jammeh's return.
Yeah.
And then we see what the future holds. Okay. If it materializes, fine. If he comes, then we see what next. Then maybe that could be plan B. But we have to wait and see what happens when he comes. Okay. Yeah, he is a leader, and we want to do things in a way that they did that would be in line with the the view of the leadership.
But for now, just final question. For now, there is no thing like there will be a potential. You guys feel you are the APRC and you will still maintain APRC no to alliance and not necessarily register a new political party. Because we've seen other people who split from other political parties. They go and form their own parties.
No, at the moment...
You guys don't feel you have split. You guys feel that it is these people who have split and take away the party.
You know what? Like I said to you before, the APRC, we are the APRC party. We are the APRC. I said APRC is a label. They have taken the label, but the content is still the same. We're still APRC. So I don't think it would be advisable for us to rename the NATO alliance into or register as another party, because when that happens, we cannot stretch our necks high to say we did X, Y, Z in the past.
Or you want to be aligned with APRC?
No.
All the historical things that comes with
we will see how best what we can do, but the APRC, cannot just die down like that, because APRC is a party that has done something in the Gambia that no other party has done. And if we want to follow the footsteps of Tombon Jatta and others, APRC is naturally going to die. It's going to die. Yeah, I have taken examples from other parties, like that of this man, Bah. Ahmad Bah.
NRP.
You don't hear NRP anymore.
National Reconciliation.
Yes. You don't hear much about NRP anymore. NRP or Ahmad Bah is not talking about the NRP agenda. It's all about the NPP agenda. Tombon Jatta also is not talking about APRC agenda. They are all geared towards the achievement of NPP agenda. You understand? If any person or group or party is in alliance with Barrow, you must adhere to his voice, his agenda. If you go against it, you'll obviously be kicked out. So you have to dance to his tune. And APRC is an opposition party since 2017.
2017, yeah.
Okay, 2017. So we don't want the APRC to die. We don't want the APRC to die. Presently, we are the people who talk about APRC, think like APRC people, and act like APRC people.
So you are the,
yes.
in fact, the APRC.
Yes. We don't
the
want
APRC in fact.
Yeah, exactly.
And these ones are the APRC in the...
Yeah, those people.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they are truly APRC. No.
Okay, Mr. Kujabi, thank you so much for coming to the Verified.
It's a pleasure.
This is a very important conversation, and I'm hoping that, of course, for here you will not be banned from coming. Yeah, and hopefully we would have a segment like this another time again.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I hope and pray that I'm not denied access.
No, you will not be denied.
I think government should think twice and see us as citizens, not enemies.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Because this world, nobody knows what the future holds. Yeah, we are talking about the past. When we talk about Jammeh, we talk about the past.
Yeah.
What happened in the past. What is happening presently is going to be in the past tomorrow.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So let's take things easy and just live nicely within ourselves as Gambian people.
Sure.
Politically we are different, but nationally we are one.
Inshallah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.